My book is Mediterranean Cooking for India. It got the very original name, Kornelia's Kitchen, from Kornelia is me and kitchen. It's not original, but it works, and the book is unique in the sense that it uses only Indian ingredients. It uses only ingredients you can find in the supermarket around the corner. And actually it was my husband's suggestion to write this book. He's Italian and he loves my cooking, and he noticed me struggling for 10 years writing a novel which nobody wanted. And he was completely against the novel. He didn't like the story. He didn't like anything about the novel, and he was very happy that I didn't find a publisher for it. But then he also noticed that I need a creative outlet. So he suggested that I write this book. And actually it's, after struggling for 10 years writing a novel, it was like a walk in the park for me. Maybe I can explain that I was a journalist when I was in Germany. I worked for a decade as a political journalist for a major newspaper. And then I got divorced and I decided I need a break, and I came to India and I bought an Enfield Bullet. And I rode 2 years through India, at the end of which I met my husband. And I started to write my infamous novel, which is in a cupboard now. And yeah, so the book, it has only easy recipes. I don't do anything fancy. I don't do anything which is hard to accomplish. I opt for instant gratification in the kitchen and elsewhere in life also. So I use only cups as measurement. You don't even need a balance if you want to do my recipes. And they are all very easy to do, but very, very tasty. And as I said, you find all the ingredients in India, which is a big plus from my point of view, because I love watching cooking shows on TV like Nigella and Jamie Oliver and all these things, and you see them making these tasty, delicious dishes, and you know exactly you cannot do them because you don't find this cheese and you don't find this ham, and you cannot buy a sponge cake with a neutral taste. So with my book, that's not the case. All the recipes in my book you can really do just by going to the supermarket around the corner and buy all the ingredients there. Yeah, I mean, tier 2 towns, I dare say, tier 3 towns, I'm not so sure, but I dare say there's happened a revolution in Indian supermarkets and in Indian kitchens too, because with the upcoming middle class, many Indians travel abroad, and when they come back home they are interested in exotic dishes and they want to try also different cuisines. So I dare say maybe not in the rural areas it might be difficult to find olive oil, but in the bigger towns, I think you can find it. No, my husband is Italian, but when I was young, I lived in Greece also, and I traveled a lot around the Mediterranean also. So mostly it's Greek and Italian cooking, but I also got dishes from the Middle East like baba ganoush or a gazpacho Spanish dish. So it's Mediterranean, but mostly Italian and Greek cooking. So I don't do any substitutes for ham. I just don't use ham, point, period. There is no decent ham in India available. And I also advise, if you can, to buy imported Parmigiano or Grana cheese, you know, the cheese you need to grate for the pasta. Also, there is also now local Indian Parmesan available. So if you cannot find imported one, you can go for the local varieties which are done in South India, in Kodaikanal and also in Pondicherry. So that would be a substitute. But I mean, I just focus on recipes with easy ingredients. For example, hummus, which is a Middle Eastern dish actually. is made with chickpea and sesame, tahini and olive oil and lemon, so all straightforward ingredients which are available pretty much everywhere. My kitchen actually is in Sangolda, which is halfway between Panjim, the capital of Goa, and Kalangut, the center of the northern beaches. It's inside, and my husband and me, we bought an old Portuguese house and we did a renovation, and I designed my kitchen from scratch, and it works very well. I'm very happy with my kitchen. I got a dishwasher, I got 2 jumbo sinks, which is very handy. I got a big oven with a, how you call this, with a hob on top and with a chimney on top. And in my first cookbook, I also have a chapter about how to design kitchens, because I think there's a lot, generally Indian kitchens, they leave a lot to be desired. So honestly, I tried, but I got no idea. In the first year after it was published, I tried to get numbers from my publisher, how it's selling, how it's doing. He said, okay, I send you the numbers, I email you and so on, and I never got anything. So after this, I completely gave up. I concentrate on writing. I'm doing a website also, I do a blog also, I write a monthly newsletter, which everybody can subscribe to, and I just concentrate, I focus on what I do best, which is writing, and I leave the selling and all this to my publisher. And I think it's selling pretty well in Dubai also. He's very happy with the numbers in Dubai actually. I change them up by, for example, I make coriander pesto also, which is a take on the usual pesto, which is done with basil, but you can make a very nice variety with coriander. I substitute nuts which are not easily available. But then on the other hand, I just concentrate on recipes which you can do easily. And for this book, I just describe what I do all the time in my kitchen. I mean, I got a son who is 15 years old now. I'm married for almost 20 years now, so every day I'm in my kitchen and I try to feed my husband and my son in the most healthy way possible, and unfortunately they don't like Indian cuisine, they prefer their Mediterranean stuff. So I got an ample variety of dishes which I can describe, and then honestly I like to be creative and I like to experiment in the kitchen. So I try constantly new stuff. Thanks to my newsletter, every month I present a new recipe, so I'm always on my toes and I keep in touch with all the recent food trends. So basically I just go with the flow and I go with my belly, so whatever I feel like doing, I do, and what is really successful also with my guests, I put into my writing and into my books. Oh, the part 2 is already published. That's Cooking for Allergies, and at the moment I'm in the final stages of part 3, which is Cooking for Happiness, and focuses on the one side and proper nourishment for the brain. Dishes which provide really a lot of nutrition, which is especially needed by the nerve cells, like omega-3 and all the D vitamins. And on the other hand, it also describes all the yummy comfort dishes from around the world, like Kubanica Mite, and just I have a chapter about chocolate, I have a chapter about, bacon, pasta with bacon and cream and lasagna, all the yummy stuff.